I'ma do what I do, so do you, hey.
Alright, you guys, welcome to Mix. So today we are going to be working on my RC drift cars. It's been a while since I've RC drifted and even tinkered with my RC drift cars, but it's about time I take them out and get them up and running or up and working, because I still need to power them to see what works, because I don't know if all the electronics work on all the cars. But right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get at least the chassis working, like everything mechanical wise working, and then later on we worry about motor, receiver, all the electronics that makes RC car running. So right now all I'm focusing on is getting the chassis of each car up and running, and then later on we worry about the electronics. And what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to charge the battery, then I'm going to go powering each car, seeing if it works or not, if it runs, if the steering servo turns, if the motor turns. So right now I'm just focusing on getting the chassis fixed, because there's 3 RC cars that have minor chassis issues, mainly more like the drivetrain, that a little pinion came off, and I don't know if I have to either try to make it or try to find it somewhere else. But to make a long story short, let's get into working on these cars. That being said, let's get into the video. Alright, so I'm really hyped today because we have 3, let's say, semi-fixed RC drift cars. Well, the reason I say semi-fixed is because the chassis work, like mechanically wise, everything works. But I don't know if the electronics work. I don't know what will happen when to connect the battery. Will I get any power going to the wheels? Will I get any power going to the steering servo? Will the car move forward and steer on its own power? Forget drifting. Drifting's another story. But will the car be able to move? Mechanically, the chassis work. Yeah, they have their own issues, their own problems here and there. They're old cars. I've had them for a long time. But mechanically wise, they should all work. They should, in a perfect world. Because I fixed it to the best that I could. So what I mean is that, start with Subaru. Subaru had a broken axle or drive shaft, which I fixed. It's a little bit bent, but it still turns, so you're still able to use it. So I'm still able to run it. I don't know if it's going to hinder the performance, or I don't know if the dog bone being bent is it going to hinder the car at all. But mechanically wise, I'm still able to use it. I don't know if it is going to prevent it from drifting, or is going to prevent it from doing anything that's supposed to be doing. And then we have my Security 3. Basically the same thing that happened here but to the back. So basically this is a rear-wheel drive car, and basically one of the axles that gets power from the drivetrain to the wheels broke, and I had to take it apart using parts from my XCRC Drift King that I modified rear-wheel drive. So I needed to get to this little pin thing. So I took it from the front wheels. Since the power is coming from the rear wheel, I don't need it. I don't need a pin here, since the wheels in the front have to run free. They have to run free. And that makes sense. So I took the pins from here, used it to fix the axles here, and then took the pin from the other side, used it to fix the axle from there. So basically this car came in handy today because I used a piece that was not able, it had no use basically. And here it had no use. So I took a little pin, 2 pinions from here, from each side, and I put it there, and then I put it there. So I was able to fix it. So mechanically wise, this car is fixed. Mechanically wise, this car is fixed. So now in the next video, I'm gonna power them up to see if the electronics work. We powered up my Exceed RC Drift Star the other day, and we made a video because everything was working on that car. So that car runs, and everything was working on it. So we were able to take it outside. I remember that the reason I stopped using this was because the pinion broke. So since that broke, I still think the electronics work. I think the steering servo went out. So if that's the case, I'm gonna use the steering servo from that over there, and that is my HPI E10. So I'm gonna use that steering servo from the HPI E10 and put it on here. And then this, I think the reason I stopped using this was because the axle reason too. The little pin came off. And the thing is that the little pin I'm talking about is yay small. It goes in the wheels. It goes in there, so it's small. So as soon as you lose it and you can't find it, you're kind of fucked. And it's crazy that with the pinning from this one car, it's able to fix 2 other cars. So I don't know what's wrong with this. I think it was just chilling in the closet. But I think it's broken because I think this steering servo went bad. So this probably needs a steering servo. I think this is probably good. And this is probably good. I'm not sure. But we're gonna wrap this up here, and then we're gonna check in another video. We're gonna power up these cars and see what works and what doesn't. And yeah, let's stop this rambling here. Alright, so what has happened to my Subaru WRX was that this right here broke. This is the dog bone that controls, it helps steering. So this goes into the steering. So this is what controls the wheel to move. And then this turns. So basically, this is how it looks when it's not broken. And I ordered one a long time ago, but sadly, they sent me the wrong part. I need this part right here. This is what I need, and this is what I ordered. Then I ordered this, and he sent me this one, which is too big. And then it brings me to the dilemma that I can't use it. But I think I have a solution. Since I already have these, and I'm not gonna go reordering it again. What I'm thinking is I could take the arms here from this truck. This right here is the first store. I tried upgrading the electronics, which was a waste of time because all the internal drivetrain broke because there's too much power. So what I'm thinking is taking off the arms from here and seeing if I could put this onto it. So I'm gonna be taking I'm guessing the bottom arm, trying to see if it fits on this chassis. And if I have to, I'll take the top part too. And then if it fits, I'm gonna try to put this onto it, and hopefully it fixes the problem that I'm having, and then hopefully I have another car I could drift. So yeah, let's get to work and let's see if we could make this work again. Alright, so what has happened in a little bit of time. So basically, the arms that I thought I would be able to use are not interchangeable because it's from a different chassis. Yeah, RC cars, fun. So what I did, I was able to rebuild it. That's the pin. I was able to rebuild it. So I guess the pin just came off. And now it leaves me, I need another little pinny thing for the tire to move. It's the pin that holds the tire together in there. So I'm gonna see if I can find another one from somewhere. So I took this apart for no reason. Well, at least I was able to fix, or somewhat fix it, because it's bent. If it's not straight, it's a little bit bent. I'm gonna try to fix it as best as I can. Maybe hammer it together or something. But at least I know there's gonna be power going to this wheel now. Because that's what's the problem. When it broke, this shaft is right here. And it's what, when this tire spins here, and then it gives power to the wheels to spin. So when it broke, this was not able to spin anymore. So to make a long story short, now we have power going to the wheels again. But I'm gonna have to try to bend this back because it's a little bit bent. this right here reminds me of the good old days.
So
Right now what I'm doing is that I am taking time to fix my RC car. So to slowly get back into the hobby of RC drifting. It's been a while. The reason is because some of my cars are broken. These two right here are broken. The part that I was able to use, the arms from this truck, all have the same similar. I was not able to use it. So this is a Security 3 for no reason. Right there is a Security 3 modified rear motor rear-wheel drive. So what I mean by that is that the motor is modded to the back. So now I'm the motor on Security 3 to the front, to the back. So it's modified to the back. So it's rear-wheel drive. So what happened is today? This little pin in here. Famous little pin in here. Yeah, I ordered this thinking it would be this one, but then so I found the pin in. But it gives me an idea. My upgrade. This is my XCRC Drift King that might rear-wheel drive. So basically, the front wheels have a pin in, comes with plastic, and they don't need it because the front wheels need to spin freely. So basically, I took off the pin in to the front wheels since it doesn't need it, since it has to spin freely, which it feels like it spins way more freer now that I took it off. So I used the pins from here, which are these little things, to fix this dog bone right here, which was broken, and it's bent too. It's a little bit bent, but I don't think it's gonna hinder it. You can see it. You see it? It's not straight. And then the thing is, I tried to fix this before. I tried buying a new one, and the ones that came were too long, and I can't take it apart like these. So if I was able to take it apart, I'll be able to use inner workings and be able to swap it over. And since I can't take it apart to the ones I bought trying to fix my TRC Drift King. Yeah, I like the TRCs. They're good, and I've had them for a long time. And I know how to work with it. So, awesome. So yeah, I was able to take the inside parts. These two are the same chassis, by the way. But this one right here is modified rear-wheel drive, and this is it's still all-wheel drive. But I modded the dog bones, and then the pinion broke. I lost the pinion, and then the dog bone broke. I tried buying new ones. But the ones that came in were too big, and I wasn't able to get it apart, so I wasn't able to use it. And over here, this is the one I modded rear-wheel drive, and it had the pin in here. So I was able to take it apart, and which I fixed this dog bone already, so this car's fixed. That I know of. I think everything works here, the electronics should work and everything. So now this is a finished, fixed car. This right here, I think the steering servo is broken. If I remember correctly, if I have one, I need to see it in that chassis. That's a HPI E10, and it's basically a parts car. That car has been 11 since I bought it. It's been problems after problems, and I've popped it up. I've upgraded some things to it, so that's what I'm thinking in the future. I'm just gonna buy a ready to run kit of HPI E10 and just put all the modified parts into that, and that'd be it. So now it brings me to my Security 3. Basically, the little pinion came apart, and without that pinion, basically that wheel won't move. So that pinion holds the wheel right in there, and what allows it to give power to the wheels for the wheels to move forward. So basically, without that pin, there's no power going to this wheel. Without that pin, there's no power going to that wheel. I don't need power going to the front wheels in this chassis since it's rear-wheel drive. So it's good that the spin freely. That's good. It could even be better. So right now what we're doing, I'm going to fix this dog bone and then put it back into my Security 3. I'm going to do that with camera. It takes there you have it, just like that. It is fixed. So basically all I did is I slid the little pinning thing that looks like that into the hole, and now the dog bone is together. This is like an axle. Basically that's what it looks like. So basically my axles is broken on this chassis here. It's kind of a little bent, but it still works. Cause I don't see it giving you much problem. It still, you know, spins. But I think the steering servo is broken, so I don't know until I put power into that. I think everything here works. Like I said, these two are the same chassis, but this is the one I converted rear-wheel drive. This is all-wheel drive, but this has a front one-way differential, lock back diffs. This over here has lock back diffs, and this is just like open, and it's rear-wheel drive. And this is my Security 3, which I modified rear-wheel drive. So I just have to put the axle back in, and I think I'll have 3 fixed cars. They're semi-fixed. The electronics can be busted, but I don't know. You still have the power, so they're almost there. Like chassis-wise, drivetrain-wise, they're fixed, but power-wise, I do not know. I don't know. Honestly, I do not know what works or what doesn't. They all need a steering servo. Only one probably needs a steering servo. Maybe none of them needs a steering servo. I don't know what works or what doesn't, but drivetrain wise, everything works. So yeah. Alright, and we are back. So in my campaign right now, I have 5 RC drift cars and 1 RC truck. So right now I have a Security 3, not modified, rear-wheel drive. Oh, that's right. Alright, so I have a Security 3, which I modified rear-wheel drive. I have an Exceed RC Drift King, which I modified rear-wheel drive. So these are my 2 rear-wheel drive cars. I have an Exceed RC Drift King with a front one-way differential bearing, which someone helped me make out of the front one-way bearing that was on the Security 3. I also have a WL Toys 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Guys, with that being said, the which I put RC Drift tires to it. And then I think that's all the modification I've done. I just put RC Drift tires and I drifted like that, ready to run out of the box. Then I also have